Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Mike.
Hello, I am Rainbow.
And today we are going to be getting a trip to the bank.
Ooh, I did one of these trips recently.
Really? You went to the bank recently? Wow, tell us all about it.
So I have to tell you the story of how I lost all of my ID cards.
Oh no, that's very inconvenient.
It was, and I didn't have any money on me.
Wow.
So I was worried, but the first stop I had to do was to go to the bank to see if I could get a new bank card so I could get money and then get my IDs.
Okay.
So the bank people were very nice because normally they have to see your ID card to get you a new bank card.
Right,
but
you have to show them who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I told them, I'm sorry, I lost everything. All I have is my passport.
Oh dear.
So they were very nice and they immediately got me a new bank card.
Okay.
In only like 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I was able to get money. And then I went to get my other IDs and everything was completed within 2 days.
Well, that is great. And it's very lucky you had your passport with you as a kind of ID. So there are lots of things you can do at the bank. Sometimes if you have an emergency, they might help you out. But of course, there are the more normal, everyday things we do at the bank all the time. So let's begin our trip to the bank by opening an account, which is what we will be reading about in today's dialogue. So let's check it out. Theodore is talking to a personal banker.
Hi, I just moved here and would like to open a bank account.
Would you like a checking or savings account?
I'd like both, please.
No problem. I need you to fill out this form. I also need your ID.
All right, so we are going to the bank today, tomorrow, and the next day, 3 days at the bank. And as we mentioned earlier, before you do anything at the bank, you need to open an account. You need to set up your own sort of relationship with the bank. Otherwise, you can't go in and say, "Hi, it's me, give me money." That won't work. They need to know who you are, and they need to have some of your money to give you. So to do that, the first step, you need to open an account. And this isn't as exciting as opening a Christmas gift. We're not opening that way, are we?
No, but that's right. The action of opening is to reveal, to take out, to unwrap, or to show what is inside. You can open a box with a present inside like this, or you can open a box that has a ribbon. You could also open something that's an account. This is not you opening it with your hands. We need someone to help us with this because it is actually a bank account with your name. So we open means we put your name in there, and this is where you can put your money. So we want to start up the account. We want to open the account. We have to go to the bank to do that, and they will help us to get started. So let's talk about our main character today named Theodore. Theodore is talking to a personal banker.
All right, so Theodore is the customer, and of course the banker works there at the bank. So Theodore says, "Hi, I just moved here and would like to open a bank account." So Theodore is new to this city or maybe even this country. He's never lived here before, so he would like to open a bank account. As Rainbow explained here, we're not opening something like we're opening a door or opening a window. It's more like beginning or starting a bank account.
Exactly.
The same way you might open a conversation by beginning the conversation or starting it. So they would like to open or start a bank account in this new city or country.
So I've got a few questions before helping Theodore out. Would you like a checking or savings account? There are two different types of accounts for different purposes.
All right, a checking account will allow you to write checks without actually having money. A savings account is much simpler. Most people will have this. They just keep your money and then you can get it out by going to the bank or using an ATM card. Well, it seems that Theodore is planning to do many interesting things with his money. So he says, I'd like both, please. I would like both the checking and the savings account. And this is also a good idea if you think that writing checks is something you will need to do.
A banker says, no problem. I need you to fill out this form. I also need your ID. That's right. So we need your identification to prove who you are because this is an official account. And when we do something official or formal, we have to write something called a form.
Well, often we do. Yes, that is very true. A form here is a special piece of paper, usually from one place, one business or institution, or maybe a government agency will give you a form. And forms are usually a piece of paper with writing on it, but many spaces for you to put in your personal information, the information that is true just for you, your name, your birth date, your address, your ID number, maybe your phone number and your email address. Often when you're joining a big group, it's a bank or a school, maybe you're signing up at a local gym to take classes, they need to know information about you, and they will keep all that information either on a form where you write it, or maybe in a computer as well. But the form is that place where you write out your personal information so people can then take it and use it to stay organized. And we are going to stay organized here by taking a break. I guess that will give Theodore time to fill out the many, many forms he will probably fill out so that he can open his bank account. But we'll be back with more after the break.
Can I put down my friend's address? I'm staying with him until I find my own place.
Sure. We can change that at a later date.
Also, as for my job, I work for myself.
Okay, I will need more information about what you do and your income.
All right, we are back and we're still in the bank with Theodore, and I think he has now had enough time to fill out that form with all of his personal information so he can open his bank account. So let's get back to the dialogue. Oh no! It looks like Theodore hasn't finished filling out the form, or at least he has some questions about it. So Theodore asks the bank teller, this is the noise you make when you don't know the answer. Can I put down my friend's address? So there will be a place, usually it will say your home address or something, and you'll write down where you live, the same address that's probably on your ID card, maybe on a driver's license if you have it. But Theodore's situation is a little bit different. He wants to write down his friend's address, and then he explains why I'm staying with him until I find my own place. Of course, Theodore has just moved here, so he doesn't have his own real home yet. He's staying with his friend, so he's hoping to use his friend's address. This would be better than using his address far away from here where he comes from.
That's right, and the address is where you live. So in Taiwan, we have a number, we have a section, sometimes we have lanes and alleys, we have the name of the street, we have the city, and then we have the country. In America, addresses are a lot shorter, and it just is very important for you to write exactly the correct one, so the mail is sent to exactly the right place. Okay, so the banker says, sure, we can change that at a later date. So later is not now, but later.
That's right. So he can write down his friend's address, and then when he finds his own real home in this new place, he can come back and change it later. And later, yes, this adjective just means at a time in the future. Not now, but in 5 minutes or in 10 minutes, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. All of those things in the future are later. And we just say this because it doesn't matter, or we don't exactly know when in the future. If Theodore knows that, oh, I will be moving to my new home next Monday, then he might come back on Tuesday and write down his new address. But if he doesn't know, later is fine. That just means sometime in the future. Also, he has another question about the form. So he says, also, it's this other question, as for my job, I work for myself. So he says, also, here's an extra question, and as for my job, this means basically when talking about my job, or in the place where it says job or work or occupation, about this subject, I work for myself. So normally, I guess he would write down a company name, maybe the name of his boss or his supervisor, but he doesn't really work for a company. He works for himself. He is a freelance worker. So really here, he's just wondering, what do I write? Because I can't write manager for XYZ company. That's not me. If I work for myself, what do I write?
Banker says, okay, I will need more information about what you do and your income. So maybe a job title, how much do you make around every year? That is our income. Income is the amount of money that comes into your bank account. It could be every month, it could be every year. We call that monthly income. That's how much I make every month. Annual income, that's how much I make every year. And of course, income varies. It depends on what job we do, how the situation is. It goes up and down, but it's just a measure of what comes into our bank account from the work that we do.
That's right. From all of the work that you do.
All of it.
If you have one job, you might get a salary that you're paid each month, a wage that you're paid each hour you work, but maybe you have two or three jobs.
Or something, yeah.
Maybe you have a part-time job or do something on the weekend. So all of this money that you make in your average month or year, that would be your income. And often for that, I guess he'll need to get a tax form from the government where they collect all of that information. But anyways, it sounds like he will have his new bank account open in just a few more minutes, and then he can get back to living his life and using the bank like any other customer. And that's what we will be doing tomorrow. So please do come back and join us for that. Until then, all the best and bye-bye. Theodore is talking to a personal banker.
Hi, I just moved here and would like to open a bank account.
Would you like a checking or savings account?
I'd like both, please.
No problem. I need you to fill out this form. I also need your ID.
Can I put down my friend's address? I'm staying with him until I find my own place.
Sure. We can change that at a later date.
Also, as for my job, I work for myself.
Okay, I will need more information about what you do and your income.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 open 动词开设。Maya went to the bank to open an account. Maya 去银行开户。下一个单字 form 名词表单表格。Please fill out this form with your personal information. 请填写这份表格，提供您的个人资讯。下一个单字 address address 名词住址地址 Please write down your address on the form 请在表格上写下您的地址最后一个单字 later 形容词晚一点的稍后的 Could we catch a later train 我们可以搭乘晚一点的火车吗接着我们来看重点文法第一个 put down 加名词登记记下也可以说 put 加名词加上 down 我们来看看这个例句 Please put down your phone number on the form 请在表格上登记你的电话号码下一个文法 A stays with B A 暂住在 B 那里 Stay 指的是暂住逗留注意介系词的用法必须使用 with 我们来看看这个例句 Can I stay with you until I find a place of my own? 我可以暂住你那里直到我找到自己的住处吗？最后一个文法 work for 加名词受雇于为什么效力 work 是为赚钱工作做事我们来看看这个例句 My mother works for a large company in Taipei. 我妈妈受雇于台北一间大型的公司。课文中呢，用 work for oneself 来表示为自己效力，也就是自营工作者的意思。所以呢 I work for myself 指的就是我是一个自营工作者。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hey, Shane.
Hey, Winnie. Here, I got you some coffee.
Thank you.
It has been so long since we last met. How have you been?
Yes, it's been way too long. I've been really good. Things have been really, really good.
I'm really happy to hear that. You know that thing that happened last year? I really want to apologize for that. I was totally out of line.
It's okay. It's water under the bridge. Let's just forget about it.
Okay. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
I broke some guy.
Hi, everyone. Today's idiom is water under the bridge.
Yes, and it doesn't always mean literal water flowing under a bridge.
Correct. The phrase water under the bridge is used when we want to say that past disagreements or problems are not important or relevant anymore. It means to let go of the past and move on.
It's like water that has flowed under a bridge. It has passed and cannot be brought back.
Precisely. For example, if you had a fight with your friend a long time ago and now you're friends again, you could say that the fight is water under the bridge.
Or if you had a disagreement with your colleague, but you've since resolved your differences, the disagreement is water under the bridge.
Right. And the key to using this idiom is in situations where past disagreements or problems have been resolved and are no longer a concern.
Exactly. So remember, next time you want to express the idea of letting go of the past and moving on, you can always just use the phrase water under the bridge. That's all we have for today.
See you guys next time.